Today's episode is going to be a show and tell. So, if you usually listen on your way into work, that's fantastic. But we are doing another favorite things episode, and we are going to be showing a lot of fun things, things that we think are fun. So, if you don't know, we also have a YouTube channel where we run these, and then you can see the items that we're showing. And it is Looking Up with Kathy and Carla over there on YouTube. We'd love for you to check that out also. My name is Kathy, and with me is Carla Moore. We're your hosts of this podcast, Looking Up. And our objective every week is to have a fun conversation, an encouraging conversation, one to make you feel good about life and the God that you serve. Thank you so much for joining us and tuning in. We hope that you will benefit from your time with us. Grab your favorite hot drink or cold drink and sit at the figurative table with us, if you will. Carla, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I wanted to just add what you said about following our whatever Facebook page. I got something this week when I uploaded the podcast to Spotify, and it says we have 1,030 followers. And then it said, remind your fans to follow you because average followers for shows like ours is more than 1,200. So we are behind in the follower department, apparently. But I think that just
That's
means
Spotify,
that
though, right?
yes,
Oh,
Spotify, but it helps the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. So if people wanted to find us on Spotify and Apple and YouTube, it would help keep the visibility. Not that we're trying to monetize, we always say all that stuff. But just to, if y'all don't mind, go follow us and help keep our algorithm going. What a way to start off, huh?
do us a favor. Like, follow,
Like us.
subscribe.
Usually we end up with that. We're starting out with it, but I wanted to say it while I was thinking about it.
Yeah, good thinking, good thinking. And while we're along those lines, this week on Thursday, the Dear Church podcast episode is going to feature us. We just recorded that interview with him. He always does it. He is like, they're really professional over there. We were laughing about the fact that when they sent the email with the link and all the information, it looks so professional, like they know what they're doing, but it was so fun. He was really good, a good host and made it comfortable. But we'd love for everybody to tune in to that, the Dear Church podcast. He's doing a great job. That's Chris McCurley. He's doing a great job, and he also has a YouTube channel and a Facebook page. So everybody check those out as well, and definitely tune in on Thursday and listen to our interview that he did of us.
It's only 30 minutes.
Yeah,
He
it's
really
a
knows how to keep them short and sweet.
and it felt like we covered a lot of ground. How do you do
Yeah, I
it?
know. We told him, I mean, we just barely get started with 30 minutes,
Getting
but
warmed up. That's
yeah,
right.
people can always skip past the jibber jab if they don't want to listen.
Jibber jab. What a great word.
Yeah.
I'm going to look for opportunities to use that word today.
Hey, go for it.
So, have you, I mean, we're recording early this week.
Yeah.
Um,
Only been a few
a
days since
lot. Not a lot has happened since the last we talked, but what has happened in your world?
well, we went down to Katy and Emmy was in the Katy rodeo. And it's not, I don't know how many people are there. It's probably maybe 400 or 500 people. I don't, maybe more than that. I'm not sure. It's a big arena. And she's part of that Katy Cowgirls. It's just kind of a little, it's mostly teenage girls who are involved in that. I don't think she's the youngest anymore, but she's the youngest rider. So they do a little routine where they ride in and they lope around and they hold flags. And, I think I said last year that I never thought that I would be nervous about watching horseback riding. Like, I just never thought about it. But then when your tiny little 8-year-old granddaughter is sitting on the back of a huge animal in the arena with 40 other huge animals, it really does make you think a little more and pray. I mean, I prayed through the whole thing. So every night she did the same routine with the Katy Cowgirls. And then on Thursday night, she did barrels, ran barrels. And her horse Missy wasn't feeling it. She didn't want to do it, and Emmy had to force her to go. And where you run around one barrel, you go around another and another, and then you race back. And Missy went and stopped and paused and kind of danced around, and then Emmy made her go around, and it was, she did fabulous for an 8-year-old on a big animal in front of however many hundreds of people. And I think probably Missy, your horse, was scared too because everyone was cheering really loud for her, this little girl. But it was fun. It was busy. We were basically there to help with all three of the kids because Jordan and Aaron were with Emmy at the arena most of the time, and Jackson had basketball and baseball, and so we were there with Pam's parents, Lewis and no, not Pam, Aaron's parents, Lewis and Pam,
Mhm.
helping with the kids and kind of keeping meals going and stuff. So we were there from Thursday until late Saturday night. So that's pretty much all that we've been doing since the last time we talked. It was fun.
That's a fun weekend. That's
Yeah.
a fun, yeah, I don't really have anything that exciting to share. Um, Ray, my stepdad, did come home from the hospital and
Good.
is recovering. So I was thinking that we went out to see them on Friday, and Emily, my daughter-in-law, Emily, said, when you go out there, would you mind taking some food that she was going to get ready for them? And she ended up, it was the smartest thing. She keeps stuff in the freezer. She's really good about prepping and things like that. And she loves to cook and she's a great cook. But she had shredded chicken, chicken broth, whole grain, homemade rolls. And so she's grabbing all of these things to put together in this big old bag. And because Ray is on a heart healthy diet now. And, she had talked about doing like a freezer meal or a chicken chili or something like that. Well, then she decided, she said, I'm just going to send all of these different ingredients out there and let your mom do with it what she wants. And that way they can
Mhm.
make sandwiches, she can make soup, she can put it over rice, she can do whatever she wants with it. And I just thought that is so smart,
That
because she
is.
already had all those elements in her freezer. And my
Mhm.
mom was tickled pink. I mean, when I opened up the bag and I was like, here's some shredded chicken, here's some chicken broth here. And she was like, oh, she
Yeah.
was so excited. So
Any number of things you can make with that.
yeah, and I've known before, and only a few times I've ever, if you make something like make a second casserole so you can stick it in the freezer and always have it ready, and that's smart. But just to have the different ingredients like that ready to go, and I thought that was genius. So totally going to steal that idea. And then Sunday, we had our teacher appreciation banquet, and Bud Woodall, my brother-in-law, spoke on that and did a really beautiful job about Jesus's interaction with children. And, of course, he talked about how he saw them and he spent time with them. But then he was talking about the part in the text where it says that Jesus lifted them up. And I forget how it's worded exactly, but he said, I really wanted to know what that meant in the original language. And so I looked it up and he was like, are you ready for this? It meant that he lifted them up.
Really
And
physically lifted them.
yeah, lifted them up and took them to himself, I think is how it's worded. And he goes, if only we had a word that means lift somebody up and take them to your, and he said, it's a hug.
No. Yeah.
And, it was just beautiful, and how he presented that lesson. But, well, anyway, before the meal, Barrett Hammer led the prayer. And before he prayed, he said, on behalf of the elders, we'd like to thank, and he's thanking everybody who's involved in the education program. Well, it just kind of warmed my heart because Barrett Hammer is a brand new elder.
Mhm.
And this is kind of like his first official on behalf of the elders.
Mhm.
And he did such a good job with it. And when Ray was in the hospital, Hillary was texting, how's he doing? And I told Neil, what I appreciate about them is they didn't become elders and then all of a sudden they're doing all these things. They were
Right.
already doing all of these things. And that's why it was a natural, move for them to serve in that position for Barrett to become an elder. And by the way, if we've got listeners who Carla and I are members of the Lord's Church, the Church of Christ that you read about in the New Testament. And if you're not confused about what an elder is, reach out to us. We would love to talk to you about what the Bible has to say about that. Maybe we're using some words and you're going, what does that even mean? So reach out to us if you ever have questions about anything we talk about religiously on this podcast, and we would love to do our best to answer questions or study with you and take you to the Word. So, but
Well,
anyway, it's been a good weekend.
yeah, me too. We had a baby shower yesterday and a good worship service yesterday morning. I mean, it's always good, but it was a lesson that I want to use in a future podcast, so I won't say much about it. But it was a good weekend. Always glad to have good Sundays, especially.
Yeah, and I hate to always talk about the weather, but you and I are so affected by it, and we have had Look, it is sunny right now, and we're supposed to have another sunny, mild, warm week, and I'm
Good.
just absolutely beside myself with joy. And I know we're not to spring, and we'll have more cold weather coming, but I don't care. Every week like this is one less cold, wintry week of winter, so it's absolutely beautiful today, and
I'm
um,
trying to find, yesterday I saved something that talked about, um, and I can't find it. And I knew I should have put it on my paper, but it said how many days until daylight savings time, how many days until 7 p.m. sunsets, and how many
uh,
days until spring. And it was only in the 20s. So we're
woo.
getting there. We're getting there.
Well, it's lighter, longer in the afternoons. We're already noticing our chickens are starting to lay more again. So all those little hints at spring are coming, and I can feel it. I'm getting excited. So
Yeah. And, it just reminds me again what a blessing to have seasonal change and how God knew that we needed that a period, the land needs a period of rest. And we need that absence, I think, of some things to make us appreciative of when we do have them, whether it's sunlight or warmth, or it's just, I mean, God knows what he's doing, always does.
Amen. You are so right. Yeah, and as miserable and dreary and gray. Okay, wait, I should stop. As winter can be, you're right. It does like me waking up and well, it was foggy when we woke up, but right now, the curtains are open. I can't tell you how many days this past week I just opened the sliding glass door because it was just so warm and breezy and you're right. You just appreciate it more. You're more thankful for it.
Yeah, I can take
Good.
mom outside on the patio and get her
Oh,
some vitamin D, that sunshine. So it's
how's
just
she doing?
she's okay. She's doing okay. She's looking forward to sunlight herself, I think. I don't think she really thinks about missing it, but I can tell when she's been inside too much and she needs to go outside. And sometimes you can't in the wintertime, even in Texas, but she's doing okay. Thanks for asking. Wanted to mention the tour that we have planned for October that we're looking forward to Israel and to Jordan. Neither of us have been to Jordan. John has been. Has Neil been?
No, Neil is stoked.
Yeah. So we're gonna drive. We'll fly to Tel Aviv like we always do, and then drive from Tel Aviv way down south and cross the border, and then go up into Petra and a couple of other places in Jordan, and then drive back across the Allenby Bridge and back into Israel. But that is in October of this year, and we're picking up on registration. So if you're serious about wanting to go, you might want to register pretty quick because we only have a limited, I think I want to say 55 total spots, something like that. We'll find out for sure. But if you have questions about it, reach out to one of us and we will answer them for you. And if you're wanting to better go ahead and register because
You really better. And you'll feel like you already know people if you listen to this podcast. We have several people from Cumberland Trace going, and I was just thinking how many of them are people that I refer to quite often.
regularly. Yeah,
You might feel like you already know them. Yeah, and it'll be fun. It's going to be
it'll
a
be a fun group.
great, great experience. And, I know I've said this ad nauseum, but you guys are so, so good at it. You are the ones to travel with if you're going to go to the Holy Lands. And it will be a life-changing experience that you will be very glad that you did.
Well, you're very kind. John is the one that does that part. I do administrative stuff, but
Y'all
he
are a
he
good team.
I hope
And
so.
you know where all the bathrooms are.
That's the main thing that I do, and I'm pretty good at that.
Yes, you
A
are.
necessary thing to know.
Where the necessary is.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
We're
Well,
digressing.
what did you say?
We're digressing.
Yes, we are. Okay. I did want to share with everybody. I don't know how much of my clarinet you can see, but it came in my grandpa's clarinet and it is absolutely beautiful. And the day we picked it up, I pulled it. I had to buy new reeds, of course, and I started. If you're a woodwind player, you already know this, but if you're not, the reeds come with certain numbers, and the higher number you go, the kind of harder it is to play. So I started at like a two because it's been so long since I've played. But I pulled this thing out, and even though I'm out of practice and I don't have a strong embouchure right now, it sounded so good. This instrument did. I mean, it is a good quality. They did a great work. They repatted it, recorked it, straightened out some keys. They soaked the wood in oil. and buffed it, and it just sound the quality of this instrument is so good. It's better than the one I had growing up. And anyway, I'm so happy. And if you missed a former episode, this was my grandpa's clarinet that he's the one that taught me to play and gave me private lessons for years when I was a child. And the boys and Neil surprised me by getting their hands on it and gave it to me for Christmas. And so I sent it off and they had it for weeks, fixing this thing back up. The only bad thing that happened, the day they let me know it was ready, I got a call and they said that the glass mouthpiece, so there's a regular mouthpiece
Oh no.
like this one. And then
Uh,
my grandpa had a glass mouthpiece also with it, which is what I was excited about. Well, the guy repairing it dropped it and broke
oh
it.
no.
Yeah.
Because you said that repeatedly that it has a glass mouthpiece. I could tell that was important.
Yes, yes. And so I was actually out and about. We were running errands when I got the call, and I think I just dropped my forehead in my hand and I was like, oh.
No, no.
But he was super apologetic and it's irreplaceable, but he does have connections and he contacted somebody at WKU who was able to get a hold of the exact same kind of glass mouthpiece. So he replaced it. It's not my grandpa's.
Yeah,
He at least replaced it and got me another one. And, so, and I appreciate him doing that. And honestly, I never would have known.
yeah,
He did not even have to tell me that, but he did. So I appreciate that. But when he first told me, I was like, ah, thinking we looked up this particular clarinet and I think it was 1960 something.
mhm.
So I don't know how long he's had the glass mouthpiece, but this clarinet has survived all those years.
That's sort of ironic. You send it to be cared for, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know, I
So,
bet he dreaded
oh,
making that call.
did. And he was so nice about it. And after I got over the grief of the moment, I said, please don't give it in. Please do not feel bad. He was like, there's no excuse for it. Oh, my heart just sank and I was sick to my stomach and I was watching it happen in slow motion and I know how precious, he was really nice and I told him not to feel bad about it, but ugh.
Yeah, well,
What do you
I'm
do?
sorry. So when are you going to play us a tune?
Neil asked me about that. He said, you should play something on the podcast. And I was like, no, that will never happen. First of
Oh,
all,
you should record it and share it.
I might do that one day after I practice. The cool thing is, I started playing and it's got such a pure, resonating tone to it that Gary could hear me. And he
Mhm.
brought up his cello.
Oh, cool.
And and he is I mean, the cello, I love the sound of Gary playing the cello. So, I didn't have any sheet music in front of me or anything, but we were just kind of playing notes together. And so now we look forward to, he found a piece that he loves, a clarinet piece that I've already downloaded. So I'm gonna practice it and we're gonna play it together. But I
You get to
might
be
for
part of the
that.
team now.
Yeah. But I look like too much of a dork playing the clarinet. I really do. Like the way you hold it, I'm like, ooh, you know.
Well, you can turn your back to the camera and just
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
worry about how you look. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, I am not that vain. I never care how I look.
Never.
Which leads me to today's topic. And there
How
are
many beauty
some things.
products?
There are some things, yeah. Always. I was telling you before we hit record, my favorite things list typically includes the same kinds of things in the category. It's going to have to do with food. It's going to have to do with probably some sort of skincare, something that you read, or
Yep.
I'm boring and predictable.
No, you're not. I mean, you're a little predictable, but you're not boring.
Okay. Okay. Well, is there anything else you want to share before we get into
I don't think
what we're
so. And since we both have like 12 things, we probably should get started, huh?
Yes, let's jump right in. You go first.
I'll start with one that I only have. Well, I could have brought it in here, but it was too heavy. So I'm just going to show you a picture. And I will say this disclaimer that I may have said some of these things before on a favorite things podcast. I didn't go back and double check. I didn't have time. And I know that I have mentioned this one before because this was my table drawer that goes on my kitchen table, and I keep napkins, I keep butter, I keep salt and pepper, and it's just an antique drawer that came from an old wooden desk. And I had one for our table here and I had one on our table in Denver. So when we came back, I brought that one with me and it's a little bit bigger. So I put it in my pantry and I love the way it looks in my pantry. So if you're watching, you can
Oh
see
yeah, that's beautiful.
I have it in my pantry and I have things like wash your sister sauce in there and peppers and a little plant and some oils and olive oil and just different things like that. And I don't know, it's just fun because it's old looking. It always makes me wonder what should I keep now that's going to be something that we collect later? Because who would have thought that you would pull an old drawer out of a desk and use that to decorate something? But I love this. I guess I call it a pantry drawer now because it's not a table drawer. But I think anybody that has an old desk that they're not using, or you could even maybe come across one at Goodwill, buy the desk and keep the drawers. Even if the desk is junk, you could make use of the drawers. So I love my pantry drawer. That's one of my favorite things.
And how nice to be able to open up your pantry and see something aesthetically pleasing like that. There's
Oh,
nothing pretty in my pantry. Mine has the old wire shelving, and I've got that in the laundry room too, which is the door everybody walks in when they come to our house, and it has the wire shelving up there. And I
yeah.
always think one of these days I'm gonna rip that down and put up a wood shelf. But the YouTuber Welcome to My Curls, I've mentioned her on here before because I ordered the tennis shoes that she likes, who, by the way, is also friends with Alicia Pennington, a member at Cumberland Trace. Um, she featured these things that you can order on Amazon that slip over those wire shelves, and they're made out of like bamboo wood. So it's like a wooden shelf, a really thin one with a wooden lip on it. So you
Yeah.
just slide it over it, and then it makes it look like it's a solid wood shelf. So it looks way, way prettier. So you can just order those and slip them over each of your wire shelvings in your pantry. So
But don't you use that wire to hang things like when you pull them out of your drawer, dryer? Don't you use the little wire? You don't hang things on it?
I do not.
Oh, okay. So
No,
you would just,
I fold my clothes. I mean, I'm sure some people do, but there's really not a lot of space for that. It's right over my washer and dryer.
yeah,
And I fold my clothes straight out of the dryer and then hang up clothes. I lay over the laundry basket and take it up straight upstairs and hang it up. I don't. And if I hang something up to dry, I hang it over my doorway, like on the lip of my doorway to dry right there. So
yeah. That's one of my least favorite things,
hang up clothes.
putting things up out of the dryer.
Oh, putting
Yeah.
laundry away.
I mean,
Yeah.
it'll stay, I'll drape it nicely over the laundry basket, carry it to my room, and it'll sit there for 2 weeks.
All right. That's a good one. Yes. Now I'm thinking I need to be looking for another drawer. I have the one you gave me.
Yeah. Well,
I probably can't make mine look as pretty as you do, but
yes, you can. Yes,
I
you
can't.
can.
I can't. You're so good at that.
No.
Okay, so my first one, I'm going with this one first because it's too big for me to bring in here. And I think I've mentioned it on the podcast already recently, but I just got a standing desk. And I'm telling you, I love it. Now I've had it for a couple of weeks and it makes all the difference in the world. I really do tell Neil almost every day how long I used it, and it's just I really didn't think I would like it. I couldn't imagine wanting to stand up to work on the laptop or whatever I was doing. But I feel so much better. And they say sitting is the new smoking as far as how bad it is for your health. And I
Right.
knew I was just sitting too much, with all the recording and editing and writing and things. I was just sitting way more than I used to, and I could feel it taking its toll.
Yeah.
Um, but it's not expensive at all. And it has three presets that you can set to where you can have a sitting level, a standing level, and a higher level. It's got hooks on the side, like if it's your office desk at work, you can hang your coat or your briefcase or your purse or whatever you want.
Wondered if you figured out what that was for because you were
Yeah, I
like,
put noise canceling headphones on one side and I don't even have anything on the other side. But it's plenty, even though it's narrow enough, like to fit out of the way, it's plenty roomy for me to have my open Bible and my notes. I have a candle and my water cup. I put a plant on there. I've got a resource. I mean, it's just,
good.
I'm very happy to have it. So I'll share the link to that. Oh, and I should say, I meant to say this on the front end. Um, we are not affiliates on this channel. We do not profit in any way from anything that we're sharing. The links that we'll share, we will share if you want to check any things out in the Facebook group. Looking at with Kathy and Carla, we'd love to have you check us out over there anyway and join our community. But we'll share links to these things if you want to check any of them out yourself. But we're not sharing affiliate links to any of these things. So it's just for fun. We're just sharing things that we love and actually use and think that you might love it and want to use it too. That's all this is about. So that was my first one.
Good. I like it. Where does it, what preset did you choose?
I use
Kind
all I use all three of them. You set it yourself.
Oh,
So that way you can sit down and program that level where it's most comfortable for you. You can stand up and then program it at the level that feels natural for you. And then I have a higher one if I'm ever doing like Zoom and I want it like right at eye
mhm.
level or recording or anything like. So you set it where it fits you. And then after that, all you gotta do is hit like number one, two, or three.
Okay.
So I keep a padded little stool, a nice wide padded bench, right slides right under the desk. And so if I ever do get tired of standing, I can just pull that thing out and sit down and do some, but I never do. Like I always think that I will and I never do. I just am happy.
You write at the middle, like the middle one, so it's low enough that you can write.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And sometimes if if I'm editing, there's some lull time because you're waiting, on the next thing to edit or whatever. And I'll sit there and I'll do like exercises and I keep free weights nearby and I'll just lift weights or I'll, jog in place or whatever, so I'm really loving it.
Cool.
Hmm.
I'm thinking I might could use one of those here, like where I'm sitting right now.
Yeah, well, Neil got one first. I probably said that when I mentioned it last time. Neil got one first for his office and loved it. And that's why he brought it up to me. And I was thinking, oh, no, I mean, I don't know, and he was like, let me just order you one. And I'm glad he did.
Yeah, good to know. Okay, my second one is called a Kleena. It's something I found at a kitchen store in Fredericksburg, which is a little German town, and the name of the kitchen store was Der Küchenladen.
Ah,
I think it means the small
you.
kitchen, but I'm not sure. And it's here's the little tool. And what do you think you use this for?
That looks like you're scraping your iron skillet of giblets.
Yeah, well, that's close. Yeah, and then you could. So, now you can see, here's the instruction sheet, and I don't want to show it too much because it's gross. I pulled it off of the instruction thing. I tossed it in the trash. And then I was like, okay, I know that there's a little hook in here. How do you get it out? So I had to dig it out of the trash. But it's two tools. It's got one end that has this little hook and one end that is a scraper.
Okay.
And it has a little self-sharpening thing inside. You just move it back and forth that sharpens the edge that you scrape with.
Hmm.
But this is for like your stove, if you have a
Glass top.
glass top stove. And I know that like what I would always use is the little Pampered Chef scraper that I clean dishes with. But this is a little bit sharper. And that Pampered Chef one had a little bit of a thicker edge and wouldn't always get it. But this one is
Mm.
it's pretty narrow and sharp. But you can also use it to get the like a label off of a glass jar
Hmm.
and just things like that. But then this little part,
Clean your teeth with.
yeah, it's a toothpick. And anyway, it it's a little hook edge. So if you've got areas on your stove that you need to clean out, I'm cleaning around my computer here now, or just little areas that you need to clean the edges of, this little doohickey does it.
Hmm.
And I have only had it for about a week now, and I really do like it. And it's compact. You can snap it back in there. It came with a little string that you can hang it up, but I think I'm just going to keep it in my drawer. But it's called a Cleana, a self-sharpening cleaning scraper. You can scrape, you can clean, you can sharpen it. It's a non-stick, safe cleaning tool with a built-in sharpener. It removes stickers, labels, baked on food, and hard to remove grime. So it's pretty neat. I like it.
That's very handy. I definitely need one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking that little hooky side. I just got a electric can opener. I haven't had one in years.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to keep on top of keeping it clean, where it actually opens the can lid. But you know how it has that little round thing with all those little grooves and that little gear? I bet that would
Yeah.
be good for if you ever do get something stuck in there, cleaning that out.
Yeah. Well, there's all kinds of little that I can't think of right now, but there's all kinds of little things that I've come across before that I just need a little something. I'll pull out a toothpick or something. But this is stronger. I think it'll be much better for that. And this company, it's called Dream Farm. They have some really unique tools. They're not super cheap. This was $12. But so I've seen them at other kitchen stores, but it came with two. And I was with a friend, Tina, that day, and I gave her the other one. So there's two for 12. But sometimes I'll take a picture of something that I like and I'll go home and see if I can find it cheaper online. But
Mhm.
I had never seen one of these. I thought it was pretty neat. So
That is
that's my
neat.
number two.
Okay. My number two is called, well, I actually don't know what it's called, but I call it a trivet tree. Can you?
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's wooden, and Chelsea gave me and the other girls one of these for Christmas, and you just pull off each
Mhm.
level like this, and then it opens up into a trivet. So you just
Yeah.
lay it on the counter under your pot or your casserole dish or whatever, and it is so cute. It's pretty. And
Yeah.
so I just leave it right here on my kitchen islands, like on my chopping block next to my mortar and pestle and all those things. And and so it's really pretty to have out, but then it's also practical and handy, and I love it. So
I like that.
yeah, I'll ask her for a link to it. But like I said, I don't know what it's technically called, but I call it a trivet tree because they're
Yeah.
trivets in the shape of a
That's
tree.
sense. And then you don't have to go dig a hot pad out of your
Yeah.
drawer
Yeah.
and then juggle while you're holding the hot pad. Anyway, that's a good idea. I like
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, my next one is called a memory board, and I don't have it with me. It's at in my mom's room, and I wanted to find the box. I could not find the box to show, but it kind of looks like an iPad, and it also looks like those frames like that you can send pictures to. So
Mhm.
your aunt lives in Atlanta. I had an aunt there, and we could send pictures to her, and it
Mhm.
would come across the frame. So this is very similar to that. And my mom does not have any dementia or Alzheimer's, but it's intended for patients who have that because you can send messages. And mom still has her phone and she will occasionally look at it, but not nearly as much as she used to. And so I can't really depend on, if I'm going to come pick her up at 11 o'clock, I can't text her and tell her be ready at 11. She doesn't always see it. But
Um,
this is about, it's about probably about 8 by 10, and I set it on the desk in plain view and I can send a message and it'll say, like in the morning, I'll say, today is Monday, February 16th. And then it pops up in big letters and she can see it from her chair. And then I'll say, I'll be there late afternoon or text me if you need anything from the grocery store. And it makes a noise when a new message pops up. So she'll see it, but I can also send pictures. So I was sending her pictures from the rodeo this weekend, and I've only had it in there for a couple of weeks, but it has been very effective at getting messages to her where I was concerned that she was not hearing from me and thinking and wondering why haven't I heard from Carla, but she was not looking at her phone. Um, so it's called Memory Board. I think it's something that's fairly new, and I'll share the website where you can order it from. It was like $160, and you can get a bigger one that's more expensive. But I felt like it was worth the expense to be able to. I think it's fun for her to hear that noise and know that she's got a new message to look at. And then the
you've got
message, huh? You've
like
got
you've
mail,
got mail.
but it rotates the messages and pictures, and you can set it to where it turns off at night so it's not shining in her room. So I have it. I asked her what time did she want it to go off and what time she wanted it to come on. So I know every morning at 7:30 I can send her a good morning message. Uh,
Oh,
so it's a neat thing. I thought if anybody has someone that they're, a loved one that they're maybe caregiving for, or just if your parent lives in another city and you want to send them messages, it's a good way of doing that.
Yeah, that's amazing. I feel like just the thoughtfulness of it and the peace of mind, I think that one, I think that item wins the best of everything that we're going to share today. So,
Well, there's another benefit too that I thought of is that when the staff comes in, bringing her lunch or just giving her medicine, whatever, they can see that I'm sending her messages and they know. I just think it's a great facility, but it's a facility and they don't love her like I do. And I just like for them to know that,
reminder,
yeah, we're coming, we're going to be there, we're there a lot,
pay
and
attention.
you better take care of my mom. So,
Sure. Yeah, that's
yeah,
good. A memory board.
you're on board. Is that what you
No,
said?
I was saying the name of it is a memory
Yeah,
board.
yeah, that's it. Memory board.
I like it. Okay, so my next one is a couple of books. These were Hiram Kemp recommendations, and one
Of
of them
course.
I've already pretty much, if he mentions a book in a sermon, or this one he actually sent me the links to, he was telling me about them, then you know they're going to be good reads. He's a fierce reader. In the Hands of a Fiercely Tender God. The author is Colleen Chao. Chow.
CH Chow
Chow.
Co. I don't
Chow.
know.
Um, and then the other one is by the same author, On Our Way Home.
Ah,
She is battling stage 4 cancer, but her ability to write and her perspective is amazing. And the way Hiram described the reason he recommended her to me is because he said, I know you like Elizabeth Elliot, and she puts me in the mind of a modern day Elizabeth Elliot in her writing style. And so I ordered this one. And then when he said, well, she actually has another one out that I'm liking even better. So then I haven't even got to this one yet, but I know it'll be good. But I was reading it when I first started reading it. I took it in the car with me so I could just read it while Neil was, running in to go to the bank or whatever, and I'd be sitting out there. And it was so good that when Neil got back in the car, I was like, listen to this, and I started reading it. And then I stopped reading and I kept, I was reading the next chapter to myself, and he goes, can you keep reading that out loud? And I ended up reading, I don't know, 4 or 5 chapters just while we were running around town because it was so good. And sometimes I'd have to stop because I'd think, oh, I mean, it's just, and let me just put this disclaimer, I don't know what her doctrinal stance is. I think this is a very inspirational, encouraging read. As anytime we endorse a book here does not mean that we're endorsing any kind of religious doctrine that a particular author might believe, so if you have any questions, line it up with the truth of God's word, spit out any bones if you need to. So that's a disclaimer out there. But these are both beautiful, very well written, very encouraging. In fact, when I started reading this one, I already told Neil I want to order like 6 copies. And anytime somebody's going through a difficult time, send it to them
yeah,
because it's that good. It's that good. And it's an easy, short read, So,
good. I will
mhm.
definitely get those. In the Hands of a Fiercely Tender God and On Our Way Home. And her
Yes.
first name is Colleen.
Yes. Colleen. And the last name is Chao.
Okay.
Chao. They're both
Okay.
on Amazon.
Sounds good.
Hmm.
All right, my next one. You've seen these. We've talked about them on here.
Hmm.
These are the Apologetics Press uh, trading cards. They are, I don't, that's not what they call them. I should have looked that up, but I call them trading cards because our grandkids trade them all the time. But they're Bible characters, Bible places, Bible things, and they have a huge set of these available at apologeticspress.com. And they are the size of trading cards. So this one is on Jethro. And on the back, it tells you fast facts. Jethro was the priest of Midian. He was the father of Zipporah, Moses' wife. He was also called Revel in the Bible. Apparently, this is part of a collection called the Unsung Heroes. So there's collections within the collection. And this one is number 149. My grandkids have books with the sleeves full of these things, and they take them with them to worship and trade with their friends. Jordan uses these as rewards in Kids Sing when they've memorized things or done or for whatever they need awards for. I feel like somewhere there have been lists of what all people use these for because people are using them for tons of different things. But I think that kids are learning without even knowing that they're learning. And I think it also helps them to see that they were real people because I know that they did these with AI. Can you remember the name of the man who did this? And I'm just drawing a blank, but he's part of,
It's Jeremy, um, what's his last name?
I'll
I think,
find out.
yeah, I think it's Jeremy something, I think.
Yeah,
He was a
I just
runner.
drew a blank.
Yeah.
Don't make your brain hurt too hard. Well, I'll share it next week when we air this, but it has all of these facts on the back so they can look and see where you can read about Jethro, different little, I don't want to call them trivia because it's not trivia, but you can play games with these. You can reward with these. We've given them to the grandkids as birthday or Christmas presents, and boys and girls love them. But I think this has been the most genius thing that they have come up with in recent history. And I know at PTP last year, there was just swarms around the table constantly, people wanting the Apologetics Press trading cards. Now I'm going to have to find out what they're called because I feel kind of bad calling them trading cards.
Yeah, somebody at Cumberland Trace is using those also because Grant is Jennifer Harrison's little boy, and he
Mhm.
came up before worship last night and was showing her the newest one that he got. And I assumed at first it was one of his Bible class teachers, but he had just brought it over there. So it could be like Hiram does like a Pew Packers thing, and we have memory work every week. But David Palman, one of our elders, he's also the president of FCA, the Christian school here. He has the kids, if they take notes during the sermon, come
Mhm.
and show them to him afterwards and he gives them something. And so it could be that he's the one doing that. I don't know. But there's just so many, like you say, there's just so many different ways that they can be used. And they're so well done. Quality, good quality.
Yeah, they're perfectly thick, you know. This one is special to me because Jackson gave it to me. He just brought it to
Wow.
me at Thanksgiving. They're called Discovery Bible cards. Jeremy Pate. You had Jeremy
That's
right.
it. Yeah.
There are 365 cards in the set, and then they're divided into 18 different series that organize the cards into collectible sets within a set. So I'll share the link next week, but they're not expensive. You know, and you consider that you can break them up and divvy them up. They come in single packs, so one, they come in a 5-pack box. Oh no, it's not a single card, but a single pack of cards. But anyway, I'll share details next week. Discovery trading cards, Discovery Bible cards from Apologetics Press.
Perfect for your kids and grandkids and, tuck them into the Easter basket and the
Yeah,
stocking and all kinds of occasions. So,
good
mhm.
idea.
Yeah, they're great. All right. So, my next one is a girly thing. And I'm pretty sure I've had a conversation on here before about how I don't really like to have my nails done because I'm constantly using my hands, especially in the summer. They get all dirty and chipped up, and and then it starts driving me crazy. If there's a teeny tiny little chip or whatever, I can't stand it. And so it's not worth it to me to do my nails, and I don't want to pay to have them done. And I don't care for fake nails. So
Yeah.
for the longest time here in recent times, I haven't had anything on my fingernails or my toenails. I've just kind of buffed them and kept them clean and natural. Well, my dear husband, he never says anything, like he doesn't really care what I do with my hair or anything like that. Um, Sort of hinted around that he kind of missed me painting my nails. And so I just did some research on, okay, I still don't want to go pay to have it done. So I did some research and I started looking into the best polish if you're going to do it yourself at home. And one of the top contenders on everything I looked at was this brand Essie. I'm sure you've heard of them before, but it's their particular Essie gel couture or something. I forget what it's called, but it's Essie gel something. But it's a two-step. You do the polish first, and then you follow it up with this gel top coat. Now, they're
Mhm.
not gel nails in that you have to use something special to get the polish off. You don't. You can take it off with regular nail polish remover. But it's got on the website, it's got information on how to get the best polish to make it last longer, including rubbing alcohol over your nails first, and that kind of thing. Put two really thin layers of the color, but let them dry completely. between coats and then put a thin layer of the top coat on. So the first time I tried it, it actually did last for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. And so now I've started collecting more colors, and I have some in my wish list, and my sister gave me some, and so I've already got my little collection going. But so this is my new favorite polish. If you like polish and you're gonna wear it and you're gonna do it yourself, Essie, and it's the one they're twisted. So they have regular polish that's in a regular jar, and then these twisted ones. So get the
Yeah.
twisted ones. And then the top coat, they have like three different kinds. This is a regular clear one. They also have a matte one, and then they have like a sparkly one or a pearly one, so there's different types of top coats too.
Cool.
Hmm.
I don't do my fingernails for the same reason you said,
Yeah.
but I've only done gel on my toenails one time, and I didn't really realize what that meant, as far as the longevity. And I mean, the way it grows out, it's like it just moves with your toenail. Of course, like any polish does, but there's this very defined part below that needs polish on it. So, okay, I'm gonna have to go back and get this fixed.
Yeah,
Okay.
for me it's like I said, I don't like the fact that it typically chips and then it looks bad and then it takes time to do your nails, and I don't want to spend time doing my nails. But I will say, first of all, it makes Neil happy, so that makes it worth it. But secondly, I do notice that when I actually do go, I hardly ever did my fingernails anyway. I typically always had my toenails done, but this is way TMI, and I'm sorry. But I do notice that when I do have them done, I feel good. I feel a little more put together and so that is a thing. But for the longest time I've always noticed like all my friends and everybody around me at church has really pretty nails. And then there's me with my little short, stubby, no polish nails.
Yeah. I don't ever notice. I guess that's one of the things. My hands are in water too much, but you say that it holds up underwater, huh?
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, good to know. Maybe I'll try it. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, my next one is Melaleuca oil by the brand Melaleuca. And I'm sure that there are plenty of tea tree, it's a tea tree oil. But I really, 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 really like this one. I've used it for years and it lasts forever because it's an oil. You don't need much of it. There's also from the same company, Melagel, and it's Melaleuca gel. It's an antiseptic, and it's just a something that you rub on your finger and rub on whatever it is that bothers you. But I like the smell of it. Some people don't like the smell of Melaleuca oil, but I like this one in particular because um, I used to put this, one of my boys was very susceptible to staph infections. And it seems like you either get those or you don't. Like there must be something in the body that you're naturally resistant to it or you're not. And he always in the gym, which gyms are gross, but he was an athlete, so he was always in the gym and there was always somebody with a staph infection. And you remember, I haven't heard as much about it lately, but for a while it was pretty serious. If you got a staph infection, it could really develop into something serious. But there was one in particular I remember when he was in high school that we were watching it. I drew a circle around a particular spot on his arm that looked suspicious. And then when it started to grow, I realized I need to do something about it. And I had this and I thought, I'm just going to try it on there. And I put this on that, whereas before it would have developed into a full-blown staph infection and it stopped it. And that was early on in his high school career. And so every time it started looking like he was heading that direction, I would put a little bit of this on there and it would handle it. Now, you obviously have to keep things clean and all that kind of stuff, but I have used it for different things that we don't have to go into all of the all of our business, but if you have a zit in wherever and it feels like it hurts, I will just put a little bit of this on there.
Mhm.
um it's just, I think it's a very pure grade. Melaleuca is a good brand. The brand that you use is what again? Say it. Oh, Revive. And I'm sure Revive has a tea tree oil, and I'm sure it does the exact same thing. But I figure for me, I keep this on hand just because I know it works and it works on different things and will prevent infection. And I'm sure there's other uses that I don't know about, and people can share that with me. But the oil and the Melagel are two things that I always keep in my medicine chest.
Yeah, how about when you share that one in the Facebook group, you can list out a few ways that you use it, and then maybe other people can comment under
Yeah,
there how they use it. And that way we can all learn some new ways to use it.
yeah, good idea.
Those smells that the first time I smelled it, I was a little put off.
It's very strong.
It is, but now I love it. But I feel the same way about a lot of essential oils. I felt that way about frankincense. The first time I smelled it, I was like, hmm. And now I love it. I even put a drop in my nightly moisturizer, for my
Yeah.
skin. I love
When
the
we
way.
were in Colorado and it was super dry at night in the wintertime, I would put a little bit on a Q-tip and put it inside my nose just to kind of add some moisturizer and keep things moving, you know. Anyway, I better stop there.
Okay. All right. My next one is a cinnamon. And do you remember that spice store in Littleton, Colorado? I think it was called Savory Spice. That was my
Mhm.
all-time favorite shop. I love that place. And they had a cinnamon in there that was naturally sweet. It was a particular kind of cinnamon that was naturally sweet. And I couldn't remember what kind it was. And it really is different from what you can buy in the store.
Okay.
And so I couldn't remember what kind it was. And so I was trying to look it up online. And I even went to their website and I still couldn't find, like, they didn't describe any of them as if you try this one, it tastes naturally sweet. So I still don't know exactly which one it was. But in the process of all that research, I ran across this one is a Vietnamese cinnamon, organic Vietnamese cinnamon by Frontier Co-op. And the reason I decided to try it is because it's less than $4. But it's organic and it got tons of good reviews. And I am very pleased with it. It smells really, really good. And you can just tell a big difference between this and like what you can pick up from your grocery store. But it's organic and it's inexpensive. So I'm loving it. And I put it in my smoothies. You can add it to your coffee or your tea or your oatmeal or whatever, because the cinnamon itself is just really good for you.
Yeah.
So any opportunity that you can, to take some in is good. But when it smells good and it tastes good, it also lends a natural sweetness, so you don't have to sweeten your tea or your smoothie or whatever you're putting it in. So Vietnamese
Was
cinnamon.
it Saigon cinnamon? That's what is ringing a bell in my mind. I mean, that one's not, but there's one that I've used before that's just called Saigon cinnamon,
See, that's what I couldn't remember because I know there's three or four different types, and that sounds right, but I couldn't remember for sure which one it was.
which would make sense because you're saying that's Vietnamese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll share the link to this also.
That's one of those things you would think to yourself, cinnamon is cinnamon,
Yeah,
but it's not.
if
I mean,
not.
there
Yeah.
are different kinds of cinnamon that really do make a difference. So,
Well, traditional cinnamon, if you get it on your tongue by itself, it's bitter. Savory spice, I don't know if they still do this, but they used to let you take they had samples of all their spices and you could sprinkle some in the palm of your hand and then, like touch it with your tongue. And they said when we walked in, it tastes naturally sweet. Try it.
yeah,
And it does. It doesn't have that bitter reaction that like a regular cinnamon does.
yeah. Okay, good to know. I use cinnamon every morning in our little banana oat thing.
Mm.
Okay, my next one is I know that this is a certain brand, but you can get any of lots of others. James Avery makes a cleaning cloth. I haven't a polishing cloth. I have a new one that I haven't opened yet, but this is what we polish our wedding rings, the silver, and it gets the tarnish off. And it really works well. They're inexpensive. I want to say this might be $5. But after a while, of course, you've rubbed. I know you can still use the part that has the tarnish all over it, but it just feels like kind of self-defeating to polish your jewelry all on top of the tarnish. But all you do is watch me not be able to get my ring off. Just I just find a clean spot and rub with the tarnish remover, and then the silver side makes it, of course, I don't know if you can tell, but it really shines it up, makes it takes
Yeah.
off the tarnish and makes it shiny. And it's just, I mean, very little elbow grease to get the tarnish off your jewelry. It doesn't work as it's advertised to work for silver, but I mean, there's gold on my ring too, and it doesn't hurt it, and it'll shine it up, but it's made particularly for silver. So it's called a polishing cloth. It says this polishing cloth is double layered to assist with the cleaning and polishing of your sterling silver. Oh, it says 14 karat gold, 18 karat gold, bronze, copper, stainless steel, brass, palladium, and platinum jewelry. It
Wow.
says you're supposed to store it in a sealed plastic bag, follow directions, blah, blah. You remember that jewelry store we went to in Jerusalem where you tried on
Hmm.
the and
Mm.
he did we both bought something in there and didn't he give us both a little, yeah,
Cleaning
didn't he give
cloth.
us both a little polishing cloth
You did.
that he like he tore it into? And it's the same thing this one is just a little bit more fancy because it's got the outside that you can kind of wipe the tarnish off once you've wiped it. But anyway, I like my polishing cloth from James Avery.
Yeah, that's handy. You're saying a lot of practical things. I already know Neil will be not thrilled.
Sorry, Neil. It's
That's
inexpensive.
okay. So my next one is kind of more of an idea. I mean, it's not my idea, but make your own massage oil. Um, so I was looking for a really good massage oil to tuck into Neil's stocking, and I just couldn't find one that looked good to me. I wanted a good oil. I wanted it to have what I wanted in it, and I finally just decided I'll just make my own. And so I bought the organic jojoba oil, which is most like our own skin. And I put in the essential oils that I wanted. So in mine, I have frankincense, lavender, and ylang ylang, which are all good for your skin, good for relaxation. So, um, and we both love it. We have really enjoyed it, and it's inexpensive, and that way you can customize it to what you're looking for from your massage. If it's an after sporting event kind of a massage, you put different essential oils in it for your muscles and so you can scent it up however you want. And so it's just an idea, jojoba oil, essential oils, and then you've got your own massage oil.
And it's just fun to say jojoba oil.
There you
And
go.
what was the last one that you said? You put it frankincense and what are the other two?
Frankincense, lavender, and ylang ylang. It's Ylang, Ylang.
Ylang ylang. That's
Ylang
fun to
ylang.
say too.
Yeah.
You have a little bit of fun while you're having your massage.
That's right. That's right. Just light a candle, put on some relaxing massage music, and have a good evening.
Not much better than that.
Right.
Okay. My next one is this cracker, although it's kind of like a cookie.
Mm.
It's from the Diamond Bakery, and usually you see this like on almonds. There you get cans of almonds from
Oh,
the
that's
Diamond
right. Yeah.
Company. But it's royal cream crackers. This particular flavor is coconut, and I got these in Hawaii. I think you can find them maybe at a place like Whole Earth, not Whole Earth. What is the trading? It's called, oh, I can't remember, but you can get lots of different foods from other places there.
Oh, World Market.
World Market, that's it. Um, Unfortunately, though, if they don't have it, I hate to say this, but you're going to have to go to Hawaii to get them.
Mm.
So, I mean, I apologize, but they come in packages of four, and they kind of have the texture of a graham cracker, maybe a little bit harder. So they're perfect for babies. Sophie loved these when I took them to her, and she's still getting some teeth in the back. I don't know that necessarily would be a teething cracker or not, but it probably would be a good thing like that. They're only slightly sweet, so it's kind of like a graham cracker is slightly sweet, but you can like in these you can actually feel the coconut. You know how when you bite down you can feel the little coconut pieces, which I love coconut. They had cinnamon and they had just plain. But like I said, I have not found these in HEB, although I haven't looked. They may have them there. It's just that it's something that I hadn't seen before, and I wanted to try some stuff that
That's
uh,
good.
looked different. So royal cream crackers, coconut flavor, cinnamon was good too. And like I said, you may have to go to Hawaii to pick these up. So
That'd be good with a cup of hot tea.
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Mm. Okay, I have to reach. Hold on. All right, so for Neil's birthday, I got him a milk frother, and coffee pot actually comes with a little arm that you can fold out, and it's got like a mechanical frother thing. But we have to heat our milk or cream first and then stick it up under that thing and hold it in place while it frosts and all. So I got him one that you just plug in and it's got all these settings on it, and you can do froth your milk. You can heat up milk for hot chocolate. You can do a cappuccino. You can do a cold foam in here. You just put the milk and push the button that you want, and it does it for you. So now all he has to, Neil makes our coffee every morning. So now it was like happy birthday for me also.
Yeah. That's a good gift
But
there.
yeah, he's really liking it. It's just really convenient. It stays plugged in on the counter. The top part comes off, and it's dishwasher safe. You can just take the lid off, and stainless steel. You can stick the whole thing in the dishwasher. But just pour your milk or cream or whatever you want, and touch the button, and it heats it and froths it for you, and just pour it out on top of your coffee. So we're both really enjoying the milk frother.
Does he make little designs for you?
He has not done that.
Well, come on, Neil.
What he likes to do is see how tall up he can get it in the mug. Like some people do that with their vanilla ice cream cones. He kind of does that with my froth, and sometimes it's really big peaks. In fact, I thought about you yesterday because he brought it and he said something about it looked like meringue, and I said calf slobber because you're the one that I've heard call meringue calf slobber, and it was just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
rounded up like one of your really tall meringue pies.
Mhm. Yeah, that's what my dad would always call it.
hmm
That's a good one. All right, next one is Aveeno. This is baby calming comfort lotion, but it doesn't have to be this scent or anything, although I like it. I have found this to be the best lotion for wintertime. And I think the reason I like it so much is because you can still feel it. Like if you put it on after you shower, if you shower at night, put it on your legs, arms, whatever, and you can still feel it on there in the morning. And I just feel like in the wintertime when everything is so dry, especially in Colorado, if you live in a dry climate, it's not so bad here. But when we were in Colorado in the wintertime, this was a lifesaver for me because I just felt like my skin got, this is gross, but like scaly because it was so dry with the heaters on, which already sucks moisture out of the atmosphere. And then it's a dry climate and everything just gets dry. So Aveeno, I like the brand. I do like this scent and it's baby. I've never bought just the plain Aveeno lotion, so I imagine that that's good too, but I like the gentleness of the baby lotion.
Mhm.
So Aveeno Baby Calming Comfort Lotion has natural oatmeal and lavender scent. It's very lightly scented, and I like that lavender anyway at nighttime. But I think I hope I haven't used this one before. I don't think I have, but I always think about it because it's one of my favorite things.
I don't think you have. I keep the regular scent. I haven't even seen that one under my kitchen sink. So after
Yeah,
you've been washing dishes and stuff, I like to put some on my hands and
yeah.
yeah. Speaking of lotion, I have mentioned on here Old Whaling Company is my favorite. It's like Coastal Calm is my favorite scent of body butter. And I did a ladies' day weekend before last, and they had put together this big basket of homemade items. I mean, it ran the gamut, all kinds of stuff filled this basket. And when they gave it to me, they said, one item in here isn't homemade. Somebody ordered it because they know it's your favorite, and it was the Coastal Calm
Nice.
lotion. Yeah, so
Very thoughtful.
thanks for that. Yeah, but all right, good one. I'm gonna check that out because I never would have even thought to get a lotion that said baby on it and use it for myself.
I can't remember why I did. Maybe I accidentally picked it up because I have a tube of it as well. But I'm glad I did because it's gentle and
Yeah, I'm gonna try
really
that. I
does, really
keep
does work.
baby shampoo. I have anyway for Ollie, because that's what I bathe him with is baby shampoo. But now we keep it because of the grands, but
Yeah.
never even dawned on me. Yeah, good idea. All right, so my next one is another oil, but this one's for your hair. And I feel a little bit ridiculous because I actually had to get a basket just for hair products now. I think it's twofold. First of all, I'm still trying to figure out humidity. We've been here for 6.5 years, and I'm still trying to figure out what my hair needs in relation to humidity. But the other thing is, since I've ditched the dye, the texture of my hair has changed, and the gray is coarser and has a mind of its own. And so I keep trying all these things, and a lot of it. that I've tried were things that came with a lot of hype and sometimes price tag, and I just wasn't really happy with it, And I recently discovered it's just plain old Tresemme, or however you say that word. Remember that old commercial, Tresemme,
Yeah.
Tresemme, ooh la la. And this one is called gloss. It's just gloss. It says gloss finishing oil, but it's just a pump, and you just put a tiny little bit in the palm of your hand and rub it together, and then like go through the ends of your hair
Mm,
like this. And then usually when I'm done, first of all, I love the way it smells, and scent is really important to me.
me
It smells really good. So I always do like mid shaft all the way down to the ends. And then when I'm done, I'll kind of go through the top of my hair just because of those wiry strands that stick up at the very top. But I feel like of all the products I've tried, this one is by far my favorite, and it was probably the cheapest one.
cool.
Yeah. So Tresemme Gloss Finishing Oil.
I need something like that. I'm definitely going to try that. I was kind of laughing, kind of crying about John took this picture of me at the rodeo. I had Clara in my lap, but my hair is like wild. And I thought, I mean, Houston is going to be humid anyway, but I I need something. It's like what you're talking about. The texture is different. And I had just let my hair air dry. And I know I've said before, it's curly. Like from here back, it's curly, but this is not.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't make it. And I wish it would make up its mind if it wants to be curly or straight and do all the same thing, but it's not. But I think that would help just to have a little bit of calming oil on it. So I'll definitely try that.
Yeah, I really like it a lot. And I like the price tag especially, but
It's
when
like you say, there's all the hype about all the different products. I'll go to TJ Maxx and stand there and look. And
Mhm,
I probably have 10 different products in my bathroom that are like they're okay, but
mhm.
they don't they don't work miracles. I need a miracle worker.
Well, the reason I know I have a whole basket full is that basket that I just mentioned that came with all those homemade items in it. I thought, I'm going to put my hair products in this one basket and keep it on the shelf. And when I started collecting everything, I mean, I filled the basket. And
Yeah.
I thought, this is embarrassing. And most of them I don't use because I was like, I'm not really, I either didn't like the way it smelled or I didn't really tell a difference, and
Yeah. I always think about shampoos. I mean, that I pretty much pick my shampoo depending on how it smells. But
Mhm.
if you can't open something to smell it, I'm not going to buy it. So take note, shampoo and hair product designers and owners make it where we can smell it, or
Exactly.
I'm not going to buy it.
Same here.
Okay, my next one is another little thing that we take this on our trips. Every time we go, we take Zicam, and we just used it last week. We came home from a grandchild's home. I will not say which one, but it wasn't Jordan's and it wasn't Jacob's. And one of the little girls that I'll do anything for them anyway, but she had snotty nose. And so, of course, about a day and a half later, John and I both feel that trickle, that tickle, not trickle, that tickle at the back of your throat where you know there's a cold coming on. And as soon as I feel that, I start slamming Zicam. And all it is zinc. It's two different kinds of zinc. So you don't have to have Zicam, but this particular stuff comes in a little, it's called a rapid melt. It's a little, looks like a little pill, but you just let it dissolve on your tongue. And I think you're not supposed to drink any kind of liquid for a period of time before or after, I guess, so that it can absorb in your system. But you take it like every 2 hours, take one every 2 hours for the first couple of days. And I did that and I don't have any. You know how colds can start out and they last for a month?
Yeah.
You may not feel bad, but you feel the effects of it for a month, or you're coughing or blowing your nose and all that kind of stuff. I don't feel anything now. And that was last Wednesday, I think, but when I started taking it, took it for 2 days. Every time I thought about it, if it'd been 2 hours, I would take another one and just let it dissolve. John did not. He felt the same time I did, and he went out to World Video Bible School on Wednesday. So he went for a full day of not taken any of it, and he's still got the congestion and the icky
Well,
stuff.
like
So
your little test subjects.
yeah, I mean, the main thing is to, as soon as you feel it, you're supposed to take it. And it's what it advertises shortening. It says it shortens a cold, and it really does. And so each of us take a bottle of this on any trip we go on because there's nothing worse than feeling bad while you're away from home.
Oh, I know.
And
Mhm.
we've used it just about every time. I mean, it's good for you anyway. Zinc is always good for you. I think a lot of people take it on a daily basis. And this is just kind of a more intense, or that's not the right word. There's just more of it. So
Mhm.
zinc in Zicam is a really good product.
Yeah, I feel like every time we come back from an overseas trip or a flight, it's not going over there, it's coming back. And for whatever reason, being on the plane around all those sneezing people on the way back, I feel like just about always the day after I come down with a cold. So it's good
Yeah.
to have, yeah,
Yep. Keep
something
it
like
on
that
hand.
in your arsenal.
Mhm.
Okay, my next one is another book, and I don't have it with me because after I read books, I pass them along to Kelly Nix, who reads it and passes it along to somebody else. And we've got a whole train of women at church that read our books. But I've mentioned on here before the Timeless series by Gabrielle Meyer. She's an
Mhm.
excellent author. Well, one of her newer books is called To Love a Lady. And I read it and it was so fun. I was drawn in from the very beginning, but it is based on the musical My Fair Lady.
Have fun.
Yeah, did you ever see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so not overtly so. It's not, I mean, it's like the same premise. I don't want to give too much away, but every now and then in the book, if you're familiar with the movie, in the course of their dialogue, there will be a phrase that you will hear the song in your head.
Mhm.
Um, do you remember the song about all I want is a room somewhere far away from the cold night air with one enormous chair? Oh, wouldn't it be lovely? So in one
Mhm.
part she says, I just think it'd be lovely to have my own room with one enormous chair. You know, like so every now and then she gives a little nod to a musical, to one of the songs from the musical, but it is so
Fun.
good. It is so good. And I've read it, Caitlin King has read it, Kelly's read it, we all loved it. So To Love a Lady by Gabrielle Meyer.
That is the next on my list to read is the Timeless series.
Oh,
I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm heading there.
you'll love it.
Good. Okay,
Mm,
my next one is these are not really the ones, but they're under cabinet lights. Do you have under cabinet lights?
I do not.
I didn't, I always wanted them and didn't, it was like, I would like to have that, but I didn't do anything about it. Martha Bluen, I think, is the first person that I noticed, she would go in and turn them on under cabinets. And they have made a world of difference in my kitchen. The reason I say these are not the ones, these are rechargeable. You just plug them in. I have these in my pantry on under one of the shelves in my pantry, but you have to turn them on. They're motion activated also, but the ones that I really like that are in my kitchen are plug in. And I wish that they were, connected to the light switch where I could just turn them on, but that was going to be a whole lot more have to do a lot more stuff to get ready for that. So these are under the cabinet and there you can hook them together. So if you have a long section of cabinets, you can plug them into each other and run them down and then plug them in. Um, I think the reason why I like them so much is because like in the morning when I go in there to fix my coffee, I can just turn those on and it's not quite so starkly bright. And you can leave them on and you can see to work at your cabinet, work on your countertop without having a glaring light above your head or in your face.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I don't know, it's just more of
More cozy.
yeah, it's a vibe, I guess. And I like that.
So they're
And yet,
not fluorescent.
no, I think these might be in the pantry. I'm not sure. But no, the ones that I have under the cabinets are not, they're not fluorescent. But it's a kind of a calming light. You can change the light setting if you like a brighter light or if you like a more, I want to say brown light, but sometimes they do look kind of like a brown light. So you can change the settings. You can set them, some of them you can set to be motion activated. I would rather it's, come on when I tell it to come on and go off at night. But Anyway, under cabinet lights just really make a difference in your kitchen.
Ah, yeah, that's a great idea. I can
I
see
think
that.
it would,
Yeah.
even your cabinet behind you would be kind of fun. You could hide them under there
Hmm.
and have a little bit of light that would come down, and it's a pretty accent.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about my desk upstairs in our
Mhm.
library because sometimes I'm working on the things for our life and favor, the journal charms and things like that. And because I have all my stuff up there, but there's not quite enough light with the overhead light and the window. But if I had something, it's my desk upstairs is one of those roll tops.
Mhm.
So I could actually put those up right there and light everything on my desk.
Well, you might like these better then because these are magnetic. You can't see, I
Oh.
guess it's this little piece right here, but it has a little disc that you mount underneath, and I think it's just a stick on. And these are
Mhm.
lightweight, so you just pop them on and then pull them down when you need to recharge them.
Hmm.
So you
Oh, I
might
like it.
like the magnetic ones.
Mhm. Okay, good. I think this is my last one. No, it's not. I got
Yeah,
two
I
more.
have more.
All right, so my next one is a pen. This is why I forgot this one because I was actually using it just now. Um,
Sharpie?
it's a Sharpie Roller '05, and life's too short for bad pens. And this one is the more I use it, the more I love it because it has really got a fine tip right here. But I think my favorite thing about it is it just glides so smooth. You hardly ever have to put any effort at all. I mean, you hardly have to hold the pen. It's like it wants to write for you. And it's not smudgy. It doesn't take a long time to dry. This is the one I use a lot to take notes in church, and I keep one on my desk. I always have a spiral notebook for jotting down ideas and reminders and things like that. And every single time I use this pen, I like it so much that now when I use other pens, it makes me grouchy. That's how much I like it. Sharpie Roller '05.
Pens are important,
They are.
and you and I spend a lot of time with them.
Yes. Yes, we do.
But I think you like a narrower point. I like a point 0.7,
Ah.
like the point 0.5, but you use a lot of the micron that are very narrow. But those
Mhm.
are the best for taking notes, I think, because you can fit more. Whereas my Bible writing, I like a thicker one that feels smoother when I'm writing on that paper. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
okay, my next one is it's a travel scarf. Um, the brand is, I want to say it's Nest, but you can tell it's long, but so when you're traveling, this one is color block. It's got three different colors, but you can wrap it around and then just use it as a blanket. You
Mhm.
have that, I want to say, is it an insulated blanket that you can fold up and travel
Mhm.
with?
Mhm.
This kind of becomes part of my what I'm wearing for the day when we travel because I can use it on a plane when it gets cold. And so it doesn't cover my legs, although it probably goes down below the hip area. But it's also a scarf, so you can use it to wear a scarf. You can use this when we go to places that you need to have a skirt on. There's some places in Turkey, Israel, that they want women to have a skirt on. You can wrap this around your waist and make a skirt out of it.
Or a head covering. Some places want women to
Yeah,
have.
yeah. We use this in some of the mosques in Turkey for that. And so it's like a blanket weight, a very lightweight blanket, so it keeps you warm. I think I used this more on this last trip in October than I did even a coat because you can wrap it up, cover your arms. I don't know. I just liked it a lot. And I didn't think I was going to, but I knew that I needed to have a scarf for head covering and all that. And now I take it with me to the church building when it gets a little cold in there.
Mhm.
Um, so the brand I said was Nest, and they're not, I think I got a really, really good deal on this one because they're not super cheap. But I think you could go anywhere, Walmart, Target, Amazon, and do a search for a travel scarf because it's going to be longer. It's just going to be a different shape than a normal scarf. It's going to cover more area. And I have really, really liked it. I used it a ton on our last trip. And so I'm planning on taking it probably from now on.
Yeah, I like the looks of that one. And I like the fact I got a travel scarf that's a little bit bigger and wider, and it's kind of a creamy gold kind of color. And it really does make a big difference. But I like the fact that that one looks a little bit more blankety also for the plain.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, it comes in handy. It did. I mean, it even kept the rain off me. One night we were walking, it was a little misty, so and it dries quickly. You can just, hang it over a hook when you get to the hotel room and it'll dry quickly. So I like it.
Okay. I actually have two more. And one of them I didn't grab, but it's laundry detergent. So I switched to unscented laundry detergent in recent times, and I've also switched from powdered detergent, which is my preference, to a liquid because we were told by somebody in the know that powdered detergent is bad if you're on septic tank, which we are.
Hmm.
And but I had always preferred powdered detergent. Well, Emily found out, she did a little digging into it, and she found out that it's not just any powdered detergent, it's most commercial powdered detergents that have certain ingredients in them that are bad for your septic tank. So if you make your own, it's not. And she shared a recipe for laundry detergent that has Epsom salts, baking soda, washing soda, sea salt, and then essential oils. And it's really, really easy. And you just put it in like your mason jar, and then each load only requires 1 to 2 tablespoons, depending on how big your load is. So it's non-toxic. It's a powder detergent, which I appreciate, and it's not bad for your septic system. And then you can scent it however you want with
Hmm.
whatever essential oils you want to put in there.
And did you say the
Really
brand
easy.
of
Huh?
what did you say a brand of what you're using? I don't think I heard.
No, it's just basic ingredients like Epsom, like you put it together yourself. And it's
Oh, okay.
basic ingredients that you probably already have in your household somewhere, like really simple kitchen laundry staple type ingredients. And so I've made laundry detergent before that was much more labor intensive. It involved like shaving a bar of soap and it was this big liquidy gloppy mess. I just didn't like it at all. And this one is just a really easy powder mix that you can put in a jar and leave it in your laundry room and then use a little scoop. And so anyway,
Okay.
yep.
I have two more and I can skip one if we need to, but this one I'm pretty sure I've talked about before on here, but I thought, not everybody remembers every single word that I ever say. So I'm going to say it again because I really do use this a lot. Except part of it must still be in my drawer. It's an egg cooker, and the most important part is missing, but it is a little tray that sits down on this, and it's got holes in the bottom that you balance eggs on. And you can do, I think, seven at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 or 7. And you prick the egg with there's a sharp point on this little doohickey here.
Mhm.
And you set the egg in there. I know you know how to do this, but then you fill it with water according to how many eggs you have in there and pour it in the bottom of the tray. Turn it on, and it steams your eggs rather than boiling them, although it has the same effect as boiling. I want to say it takes like, I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes that you can do all of these eggs in this little thing. And then you just immediately put your eggs into an ice bath for a couple of minutes, and then the peel slides right off every time. And I use a lot of boiled eggs for deviled eggs or just because I like boiled eggs. I put them on salads, different things like that. But I never did like boiling them in water. It just took forever and I would forget about it and it would sit there. And then the longer the egg sits in the shell, for some reason, it makes it harder to peel. So this thing just makes it quick and easy. Like if I think to myself, I want a salad for lunch and I want an egg sliced on top of it, I can do it within 10 minutes. I have it. Whereas before you have to boil it for 12 minutes and then blah, blah, blah. So an egg cooker, you have to clean it. Like I always have to clean it with baking soda and maybe a little bit of vinegar because for whatever reason, it starts becoming more ineffective if you don't keep it good and clean. So my little egg cooker is a favorite.
Very nice. And is any part of it dishwasher safe?
I mean, you could probably, I know you could put the little tray, and I'll share a picture of it. You could put the little tray in the dishwasher in this, but of course you're not going to this is the electronic part. It's got a cord on it, so you wouldn't put that in the dishwasher.
Hmm. Yes, very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice. And especially if you're on Weight Watchers, that's 0 points.
Yes, yes, which is very important.
Right, my last one is this is a lip balm. And what drew me to it at first, I actually saw it in my Pinterest feed, is the design of it because it uses a Greek balsam oil. I don't even know if I'm saying that word right. It's that balsam. Another
Awesome.
word for it is St. John's wort, wort, which I guess people don't think sounds as nice. But and so there's all different kinds, and they all have some sort of blue and white lid with the really pretty designs on them. They all have different designs on them. This one is some kind of natural rose, so it gives like a light tint when you put it on. But that balsam oil, or however you say it, is really good for your skin. It's supposed to be healing and nourishing. And so, but they have all different kinds. I want to say they have like 5 or 6 different types. You can get untinted, you can get some with shea butter, you can get some that feel more minty. So they have all different kinds. But I was really initially drawn to it because I liked the way it looked.
Cute. Yeah.
And I thought I'd give it a shot. And then when it came, this is like the perfect color. It's kind of a neutral, just
Mm.
adds a little bit of flush, color to your lips while healing your lips. And so then I was actually like, "Oh, I actually do love this thing." So I'll probably be trying some of the other ones here soon. But I just think it's really pretty, and it kind of has
Yeah.
like a Greek island kind of feel to it.
Hmm. Yep. Yep. I like it. My last one is I don't even know the brand, but I will find out before next week. So, confession, I have a hard time finding headbands that will stay on my head because I do not have a neck. Like, I don't, there's like this much room between the bottom of the base of my hair and the top of my shoulders. You know how some people have long, elegant necks? You'll see them and they'll have this, they have this long, beautiful neck. And I don't. And so because of that, like if I tried to use a headband that was the kind that slips over your head, like a stretchy one, as soon as I lift my head, it pops off the back of my head because there's just no room for it back there. And then there's a lot of headbands that are super uncomfortable. They get tight and I get a headache right here. So, but I have this hair that falls forward and it's in my face a lot. So it's just a very, very simple. I'm going to use the lighter one so you can see better. It's just a very simple headband and it's got a kind of a non-stick, but it fits my head and it's comfortable. I never get a headache and it doesn't pop off when I lift my head. And I was
I
rejoicing.
really need those because I have the same problems you
Do
do.
you?
Hmm.
And I pretty much wear these all the time now because it just when I put my head forward, my hair doesn't fall on my face. But I don't have to do anything other than just slide it on and it holds my hair back. So
And I liked that first one, the color of that first one that you held up there.
yeah, it comes in a pack of 3. It's just grocery store, the ones that you see and they're on a little card in the
Yeah.
hair products and
What
it
brand is
might have
that?
been all of 3.99 for 3 of them. So I'll share it next week. So if anybody has a big head problem like I do, they can share in
Did you
my
say the brand?
joy. I don't know what it is. It's probably like Goody or one of those hair, that you see in the grocery store, but I'll find out before next week. And when I share it, I'll say the brand.
Okay.
That's
So
it.
I think I had 12 items and you must have had 13 since we started in it. So we shared 25 of our favorite things and we had fun doing it. Thank you so much for joining us for all of that. We'll share links to these. Check us out on the Facebook group, Looking Up with Kathy and Carla. Share your favorite things with us anytime you want.
Yeah.
And do you have anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Are we going to tell what we're having for dinner, or do you not have a plan for dinner
Oh,
yet?
I do. I forgot about that. Thanks. I do. Go ahead.
Well, mine's lunch. Micah is on his way right now with Livy and Sophie so that we can watch them this afternoon. So I put some spaghetti sauce, some of the I never know how to say it, RAO, row or row,
Mhm.
rays, maybe, spaghetti sauce. I just think theirs is the best. It's a little more expensive. Another something good for you, I guess. But I mean, you can make your own from scratch, certainly, but I am going to crush some of those San Marzano tomatoes when I get done here and put those in because I did 2 pounds of meat and that it's vodka sauce. The alcohol is not in there. So hopefully nobody's offended by that. But that's my favorite flavor of that brand. And then I'll add some San Marzano tomatoes crushed up in there with spaghetti.
Sounds
Simple.
good. Nothing better than a good plate of spaghetti.
Mm-hmm.
I have a pork tenderloin marinating. So
Nice.
we're gonna roast up some pork tenderloin tonight, and Gary and Chelsea will be with us, eating with us. And I have it marinating in a marinade that I learned when Neil and I were first married. Somebody had us over for dinner, and they had grilled chicken, and the chicken was so good it tasted like steak.
Mm.
And she marinates her chicken overnight in this particular marinade. And she said you can do fish in it, you can do pork chops, you can do whatever. But it's just olive oil, soy sauce, fresh lemon juice, and fresh garlic. And you just marinate whatever you want. And it just gives it the best flavor. So I've got that going, and it'll be really easy to cook that up. And that's what we're having for dinner.
Sounds amazing. Anything with fresh lemon and
Okay.
garlic is
Oh,
so
yeah.
good.
Hmm.
Sometime we need to talk about the things that we always keep on hand. Like, what do you always keep in your pantry? What do you always keep in your fridge? But I don't think we have time for that today.
Not today. No, it's going a little long.
Imagine that.
But we shared a lot of things.
Yes.
So until next time, Carla.
Keep looking up.
I love you, friend.
Love you too. Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.